The wrestling community on YouTube has grown a lot in the past few years. You have a ton of talented creators creating great content each and every day. Of course, these creators clearly aren't camera shy, so it's not too surprising that some wrestling YouTubers have acted in movies. Let's take a look at some of the biggest wrestling channels and find out what films they've appeared in. Adam Blampied. Before he was a presenter on Wrestle Talk, before he was the head of creative at Cultaholic, and before he was the face of What Culture Wrestling, Adam Blampied was getting involved in the movie business. Sort of. Back in 2010, the future wrestling YouTuber made a brief appearance in the superhero film Kick-Ass. Midway into the movie, the titular Kick-Ass is hanging out with some friends at a comic book shop. Right before the film cuts to the main actors, we can see a black-haired Adam Blampied sitting at a booth reading a comic. It's a very brief moment, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. Little did anyone know, in about 5 years, this guy would become one of the biggest names in the YouTube wrestling community. Grimm. The creator of Grimm's Toy Show and GTS Wrestling has one massive wrestling figure collection. It's so impressive that in 2013, it caught the attention of National Geographic. The TV network decided to create a documentary based on the YouTuber and his toy collection. The film followed Grimm and how his wrestling figure obsession was hurting his wife and kids. The family eventually tries to get Grimm help, but he refuses. Despite being a documentary, a decent amount of the production was staged. Grimm revealed in 2018 that a number of moments in the documentary weren't real, and some lines were completely scripted. The wrestling YouTuber didn't seem too bothered by how he was presented, and while the documentary may paint an inaccurate picture, it is pretty cool that a wrestling YouTuber caught the attention of a major network. Brian Zane. The host of Wrestling with Regret definitely is a natural in front of the camera, so it may not come as a surprise that he's been in 2 movies. Brian Zane's movie debut happened a couple of years before he launched his YouTube channel in 2011's Deathmatch 3. The film stars a number of wrestling legends, with the plot involving an underground wrestling tournament where the 2 finalists fight to the death. During one of the matches, the wives of the 2 wrestlers get into a scuffle. A group of casually dressed security guards come to break it up, and one of them just so happens to be Brian Zane. Zane's screen time is pretty brief, but his second movie role yielded better results. In the 2018 film Parts Unknown, the face of Wrestling with Regret appears as a jobber who wrestles against the film's main character, Herman Van Strasser. It's ironic that Zane's previous film appearance was in a movie called Ultimate Deathmatch, because in Parts Unknown, he actually gets killed. Talk about foreshadowing. Despite only appearing in the opening scene, Brian Zane does get a few lines in.
Take it home, man!
With 2 films under his belt, who knows, maybe we'll be seeing Brian Zane back on the big screen in the future. Adam Pacitti. Before he was making wrestling videos on YouTube, Party Boy Pacitti was creating and starring in his own documentaries. Adam's first film, Pinfall, is about him training to become a professional wrestler. It all builds up to Pacitti stepping inside the ropes and living out his childhood dream of competing in the ring. It's a well put together documentary and helps show just how tough and passionate wrestlers are. However, I think this is my favorite part.
Okay. It's not going to be a real one. I'm not going to give you a real one just yet. A little bit harder. Okay, ready? Oh! Can you get a space?
A year after releasing Pinfall, Adam Pacitti packed his bags and headed to Texas to produce another documentary called Everything's Bigger. At first, Adam plans on continuing his wrestling career by competing in an American wrestling promotion. When that doesn't work out, Pacitti decides to explore and experience the culture of the Lone Star State. And maybe he even stumbles upon true love. At first, I didn't think this was going to be a film that interested me, but as I watched it, I found the premise and story it told to be very engaging. Good job, Pacitti. Hannibal. If you're not familiar, Hannibal, or Devin Nicholson, hosts a YouTube channel called The Hannibal TV. He's been conducting interviews with a number of wrestlers since 2013 and also shares his own experience from working in the wrestling business. In addition to being a wrestler himself, Hannibal has also gotten into acting. His first role was in the 2011 horror movie Kennyville. In one scene, the main character Charlie runs into a nearby bar after escaping an attack. One of the patrons is played by Hannibal, who gets mad at Charlie for disrupting the peace. Hannibal's character, Sid, gets in a fight with Charlie, putting Hannibal's skills as a wrestler to good use. Ironically, in pro wrestling fashion, Sid gets smashed in the face by a chair. After the barroom brawl, Sid chases down Charlie and another character called Donovan. He confronts both men, but in the end, Sid is killed after he gets shot and falls out a window. Even in the movies, Hannibal is taking bumps. A few years after Kennyville, the host of Hannibal TV appeared in another film called Haphead. This time around, he plays Hal the Hammer, an employee at an advanced technology factory. His big scene comes when another employee and the main character of the movie, Maxine, challenges him to a fight. Hal accepts, of course, and this allows both Hannibal's professional and amateur wrestling background to be put to use. Just like in wrestling, the fight gets cut short due to outside interference when a drone zaps Hal in the back. If you're wondering, no, that's not Vanguard 1. Additionally, Hannibal's appeared in several web series and has been the subject of a number of documentaries. Tell me in the comments which appearance was your favorite, then hit the annotation and watch another one of our videos. With that, I'm Zach from Tap Out Corner, and take it easy.